Did I do it right?
And what are you doing?
G'day guys and welcome back to Raging Ryno. Alright, it is time for episode 6, the second last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Now this episode is a 48-minute episode. We will get into it very shortly, but there was one thing that I noticed from last week that I forgot to mention in my review, and that was we're supposed to be all caught up in regards to the flashbacks, but the one thing that we're only up to is essentially season 1 of The Mandalorian when he finds Fennec. We haven't actually figured out how he got his armor, how he found the Mandalorian on Tython, you know, how he tracked him all the way there. And I don't think that we're going to get an explanation or anything like that, but it was just something that I noticed that really hasn't been explained, and they're probably not going to explain it. I really feel like these last 2 episodes are just going to be cameo episodes. We're just going to be filled with cameos. We'll see what happens. I don't know how much of Boba Fett we're going to see in this episode. We'll see. Anyway, look, let's get into this episode. You'll get my reactions and you'll get my thoughts at the very end.
First, I gotta pay a visit to a little friend.
Are we going to see that little friend is the question. I don't know. Are we going to see Boba or are we going to see Mando? Oh, Cad Bane.
Think it through.
There's your first little cameo. But he's on Tatooine.
Think it through.
Oh, he's quick. He's quick. How are 4 of them going to sit in a 2-seater? Oh, it's a shit ton of spice. Straight into Mando. Oh, it looks like we're going to see the kid. R2! R2! R2. There's your first one. What is that? A giant droid ant? Nah, what the fuck? This is like a cross between the Terminator and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Oh my god. You get a little montage, and R2 just shuts down.
Droid, is that a bench? How long will I be waiting?
Patience. That's ridiculous. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? His face looks a lot better. At least it does there. What is this, a lesson for Grogu? They are for training, not for food.
Alright, let's go for a walk. Size matters not.
Then why are you helping him walk like that?
Have you heard anyone talk like that back home?
Oh, no, that looked weird.
Let me help you remember.
Really? We're going into flashback Grogu mode in the Jedi Temple. Are we going to see who saves him? That's it. That's all we get. Gee, there's a lot of dialogue where Luke's face isn't on screen. I know there has been a few shots, but it does feel weird.
I'm a friend of the family.
Did I do it right?
And what are you doing here?
Ahsoka's here.
That's why R2 brought you to meet me.
Okay. Oh no. Her Montrolls still look horrible, and I'm hating where this is going. Oh, they're still hanging up on the attachment thing.
In my care. Either way, this armor will protect him.
Just happy with the answer?
I came all this way. He's right there.
In your starfighter. How comfortable was that? It's a decent lesson, but I still feel like they're clinging on to that old way that the Jedi were teaching. Like, if you look at Luke in the EU, he sees that through love and compassion, that's what turns Vader back to the light and back to Anakin. And it's for his love and compassion for Luke. And Luke sees that that is an important and an integral part of a person. And you can't just withhold that from someone. And I feel like this, as much as, yeah, it's going to be hard for Grogu to see him, I feel like that it's a good thing that it's going to be hard for him to see him and then have him leave again. But at least he gets to see him, right? I mean, I just feel like they're still holding on to that old thing. Again, I know that the EU is decanonized and some will argue out there that the EU was never canon, but fuck all of that. In the EU, Luke knew what he had learned and moved forward with that. Not just through what he learned from Obi-Wan and Yoda, but also through what he experienced in seeing what happened with the Emperor and seeing what happened with Vader. And through love and compassion. There's no moving forward. There's no evolution for the Jedi. They're still holding on to this thing that attachment is bad. Whereas, there can be elements of it that are bad, but there are also major elements of it that are really good. And love is one of those things, and love is one of those things that Luke learns. I just feel like they're not moving forward with it. So Grogu sees him leave. He obviously knows who that is if he's doing that. Something doesn't feel right about it.
Don't try. Do.
No, what? It's do or do not. There is no try. It's not just do. There is do not as well. Oh. Don't try, do. Another montage. Again, talking without his face.
Feel the Force all around you. Through the Force.
So just in that shot there, they have Luke speaking, but they've got the image from behind. Nice shot. Great shot. But they've got the image from behind while he's speaking. Then they go to his face, have him have his eyes closed and meditate in the trees, and then go back to the shot behind him and then have him speak again. I feel like there's a lot to say about that. It feels really weird. You're not used to seeing a person speak so much without seeing their face. It seems that like they're always trying to put in something where Grogu is putting, like in that previous shot, he's putting down the backpack. And so they could have the shot of Grogu coming out of the backpack while Luke speaks. It feels really weird. Just saying.
Use the Force.
Use the Force. It seems really, I don't know, it's weird. More training montage stuff. The episode is just one big montage with cameo appearances. Hey, another little Easter egg.
This is a training remote.
Why are we watching Grogu train in the Book of Boba Fett? Fucking, you should have actually shot that motherfucker.
Always get back up.
Always get back up? That's such a... That was a weird line. I take back what I said about his face. They can't get it right, and that's why there's a lot of dialogue with him not talking on screen. More training montage.
So much like your father.
Huh. Okay, we're going to talk about it now?
Will I see you again?
So hang on. Ahsoka's
Force
not...
be with you.
Hang on a second. Ahsoka's not staying there. She's not there with Luke. So what is she doing there? So basically, Ahsoka has only been there to be the communicator with the Mandalorian because they can't have Luke communicating with him because they can't obviously get the shots right. And Ahsoka's just there to coach the Mandalorian and give this gift over to Luke. So hang on. The first time that we see Anakin's apprentice with Anakin's son, all we get is, "You're so much like your father," and she leaves. Again, it's like, okay, why are you even there then? I don't understand that. Hey, maybe we'll get to see Boba for the first time in an episode and a half. Hang on a second. We literally get like a minute of screen time for Boba Fett. He has no dialogue, but he's standing there without his helmet on. Like, really? I feel like that would have been a much better scene if he had just had his helmet on. He has no dialogue. He doesn't say a word. And they just happen to carry a crate dragon head on the roof of their sandcrawler. So what, they know that it's Mando? Even though it's a completely different ship?
I'll take it from here, Deputy.
Deputy, marshals, space cops, officers.
Citizens of Freetown.
They go to
They're
Freetown.
brave people.
So simple.
And the Pike Syndicate.
Is that Cad Bane? That is Cad Bane. I knew it.
Let me handle this, Deputy.
Deputy. Thought we were in Star Wars.
I'm not leaving you out here alone.
And who might you be?
Did I do it right? Oh, this is why we needed to see how quick he was at the beginning of the episode. To see how much quicker Cad Bane is. Oh, he's gonna be the one that gets killed. Oh, gee, put a few more shots in him. And he just walks back off into the desert of nothingness. They've left a bomb in their case thing that they walked in with. Boom! Wow, that's a really weird edit. Like, cut. We cut back to Luke. Chainmail.
The Mandalorian wanted you to have this.
Chainmail. Greg was right. Lost Jedi 22. Tuscan Bob, you were right.
If you choose the armor, you'll return to your friend, the Mandalorian.
What?
Love. And forsaking the way of the Jedi.
What?
And I will train you to be a great Jedi.
Blackmail. Emotional blackmail. And why if he chooses the armor, does he not get to train with you anymore? Find out in Mandalorian Season 3. And that's the end of the episode. Alright, wow. This episode was just cameo galore. I think there were, if we're looking at it from the aspect of it being the Book of Boba Fett, I think there were 7 cameos, if I can count correctly. Because you would count Mando, Cobb Vanth, R2, Luke, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, and Grogu. 7. So, it's just, it was just cameo galore. There was montage galore. There's a lot of time being filled in these episodes with just stupid, pointless montages. I don't know what Ahsoka's doing there on the planet that Luke is on, just to have the conversation with Mando, it seems, and then she's leaving. I'm really disappointed by that, based on the fact that it was an opportunity missed, where the first time we're seeing Anakin's apprentice and Anakin's son on screen together, it would be good to have something better than "you're so much like your father." You know, no actual conversation, no lessons taking place, nothing actually going on there. Some of the lessons Luke was teaching, they didn't really make sense to me. And again, I'll say a lot of the dialogue from Luke was when his face wasn't on screen. They always found a way to move the camera away from his face. Now, yeah, there were some shots. Some looked okay. Some looked quite average. That's a nitpick in regards to having to de-age Mark Hamill, I guess, or whoever the actor is, and putting the face over the top. I don't know exactly how they do it. A lot of it does feel like just scripted dialogue and then put over the top of a shot. There was literally like a minute of Boba Fett. He doesn't say a word. His helmet's off the whole time. Fennec Shan's the one talking. And there was a couple of really strange edits where it does feel like it's just like, this is an episode of Mando and they've shoved in a couple of scenes of Boba Fett. Or, you know, maybe shot a couple of scenes to try and make this episode fit in with the Book of Boba Fett. I wish I could remember which episode of Casual Rage it was. I'm pretty sure it was, when I say episode, I mean of the Book of Boba Fett that we've been doing all the breakdowns on. I think it was episode 1 or episode 2. Near the end of that stream, I said, I bet you they're going to bring in Cad Bane. That's the cameo, the big one that I reckon I'm going to see. Now, I did think that it was going to be Boba Fett hiring Cad Bane to help out, but it's actually the Pikes that have hired Cad Bane. And of course, you see there at the end, he's the fastest gunslinger. I will say they missed the toothpick, but again, that's a nitpick on that character. The episode looked really good. A lot of great shots. The ship flying looks fantastic. There's a lot of good shots, but it didn't feel like an episode of the Book of Boba Fett. It really felt like an episode of The Mandalorian. It actually felt like an episode of this Luke Skywalker Grogu episode, which was quite strange. But the big thing for me is the fact that Luke hasn't learnt anything. Again, I mentioned it in my reactions that in the EU, Luke learns from what happens with Vader. You know, in the fact that he's got so much love and compassion for Luke that's what makes him turn back. Luke then recognizes that there are powerful attachments, there are powerful things through attachments, and they're not just all bad. Not all bad or fear or hate or anger comes from attachments. That's essentially what it was in essentially the prequel era. That's what they were teaching. And Luke learnt that in Return of the Jedi, but now it seems like it's just one big reset. He knows nothing. If anything, he's probably learning more from Grogu than Grogu is from Luke. Now, Grogu's had teachings from that era of the Jedi, but it really annoys me that the dialogue felt really, really strange. It didn't feel like dialogue that Luke is saying or should be saying. So some of it's about whether or not he actually even should be saying that. Especially there at the end with the decision to take the armor or the lightsaber. If you take the armor, you're going to be all about attachments and, you know, I've got to send you back to the Mandalorian. And then you pick the saber and I will teach you to become one of the most powerful Jedi or whatever he says. I don't exactly know. I can't exactly remember. That to me just, it's so out of place for what Luke should know and what he should understand. But see, for a lot of people out there, none of that's going to matter. None of that is going to matter. Because it was Luke, it was Grogu, it was Ahsoka, it was R2, it was Cad Bane, it was Cobb Vanth, it was the training droid, it was the droid ants from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know. But like, it just it doesn't feel like the characters in this have progressed from what we know them to have learned. And it just really feels out of place. This is supposed to be the Book of Boba Fett. We literally get a minute of Boba Fett. And when I say literally a minute, okay, it's not literally a minute, but it's a minute and 9 seconds of actual Boba Fett in 2 episodes that have nearly been an hour long each. Going into the final episode of the season where they've just got to stop the Pikes. It just seems like there's no big bad. It's just stopping the Pikes from running the spice. I don't understand why a crime lord wants to stop the crime. I don't get that. And no amount of him spending time with Tuskens or him being in the Sarlacc pit and nearly coming to death is going to change the fact that he wanted to be like his father before him and be one of the best and most badass bounty hunters to ever rule the galaxy. That's what this should be about. And I don't know what this is. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you watched the episode. If you didn't watch the episode, let me know what you guys thought of this review and the reactions and everything. Please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for the final episode of the Book of the Mandalorian. Later, guys.